because people gonna look at you and say you're not right in the head. Sometimes that may be a distraction. There may be levels to that. It really depends. Because there may be some truth in the insanity of a person. So a person can point at you and say you're crazy. That may be true to an extent. So never automatically dismiss everything you hear. Nevertheless, it's like sometimes what you hear is a bit of reflection, deflection, stuff like that, because it's like they may have it and they look at you and they see what's inside of them. Or they want to believe that you're crazy in order to discredit you. Maybe they believe it, maybe they don't, but they're going to say it nevertheless, and you may never know either way, but it is what it is. And it always is what it is, but you are what you are, and you go on in your car to do what you do, and go so far, because you are what you are, and you're never ever gonna be anything else. So what you gonna do? Or you gonna let them get you down? You gonna look at Big Flopper and say, I'm gonna let you get me down? I don't think you should do that, because then you're gonna be down in the soul of a gutter that will never ever give you anything that you deserve, or maybe you don't deserve anything, but then that's another outlook that you can go upon and try to figure out what is going on. When you try to figure it out, good luck, but it's like life is a song and it's like poetry and rhymes. Thank you, George Lucas. You've settled my mind, and now I'm better for it. And I feel like I just want it. I need it. I want some more of it. I tried so hard, but I just can't go that far. But I want to be a part of a celebration. And you want to be a part of a celebration too. And sometimes the wind is blowing so hard, and you feel like, wow, what am I doing here? Power's out. Fire. Oh no, a school! Oh no, why did we think of something to stop this problem from happening in the first place? Nevertheless, people running around like chickens with no heads, but it's like, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? What could you possibly do? Mamma Mia! I'm Chris Pratt. I'm Mario. Nintendo, billions of dollars. You better go get some money and put it in the stocks, or just try to have any stocks left. Did you give it away? I don't know. It's like this is not any investment advice. I don't think I should ever say that, but it's like people say that, and people say a lot of things. So it's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Life is hard. Sometimes you just gotta calm down, look around, and see what you see, and talk to all the cool people. And then sometimes you want to talk to the not cool people, and look at them, look in their eyes, and say, "How you doing? How you doing, not cool person?" And they'll look at you and say, well, I'm happy that you're talking to me, actually. Wow, I'm happy that you're happy, that I'm happy that you're happy. This is an inception of an idea that will make me want to drink more. Wow, you want to drink? I want to get high. You want to get high? I want to touch the sky. I want to be Michael Jordan. I believe I can fly. I remember 98. Yeah, Michael making a shot over that guy. Brian Scott, was that his name? Of the Utah Jazz? NBA Finals. Final shot. Then he came back for the Wizards. But nonetheless, at the time, that was something else. For a real long time. And probably to this day, it was something else. Because he was living in the moment. He was at the top of his game. And you want to be the best of the best, like him and like Jackson. The other Michael is right. You want to be at the top of your game. You're like, what you got to do is you got to be fully in control, but at the same time, you gotta be crazy, you gotta be good, and you gotta go on. But nonetheless, it's like, life looks good. But it takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of pacing, and it takes a lot of different things. So just keep on going. A lot of people say a lot of things, and there's so much saturation and a lot of different things, and it's like, it's gonna like do something to the soul. when you get oversaturated with a whole lot of things. It's like the oversaturation of a story, of a lot of different stories out there, can dilute a message. And it's so sad. But it's like, it is what it is, and you gotta take control of the dilemma that you find yourself in. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm just an oatmeal man, and I'm just living in the USA. Just living in the USA. What can I say? It's been a really long time, and I just feel like it is what it is, and I like to say that it is what it is. I want you to know that you gotta get your joy on. I want you to know that you gotta find your L for OJ. That's right, you're looking for outrageous joy. L for OJ. Get your joy on. GYJO. Get your joy on. That's right, your joy on. Your joy on. Or else you're gonna get the world down. You're gonna make the world go down into the drain, into the gutter. And then we won't have anything else. You utter. You utter. An otter pop. Down in the drain. You'll be insane. You'll have a part of your face missing, like that old king from the Game of Thrones House of Dragon. You be the old guy, slowly dying, with his nose falling off, with his eye falling off, with the side of his face falling off. Spoiler, but it's too late, and it doesn't matter. At least you got some dramatic power within your heart, your soul, your mind, your imaging. And it's so dramatic. At least you got that going on. At least! At least you got that going on. Unlike, say, another show like the Lord of the Rings. That's right, Lord of the Rings prequel. Rings of Power. Where it's like you're invested because it's like that was one of the greatest ever. Like, what a great universe to explore, Lord of the Rings. And it's like, it's missing a lot of heart. It's still interesting because it's like, some people may be interested, especially if you're a hardcore fan and if you've read the books, you may be interested. Even if it's off a little bit, even if they're messing with the lore and getting things incorrect, they're messing with the canon and trying to push everything together, even though it's like a lot of these stories are so spread apart over the course of like thousands and thousands of years. I don't know how many years, but a lot of years. And they're just trying to like do a lot of time jumps, or they're trying to like mix and match different characters from different time periods, and then they can't call the hobbits the Hobbit, and they're not calling Gandalf Gandalf, and then they don't want you to know about Sauron. Please don't delete this video! Well, I said spoiler! I don't know, I didn't want to talk about this, but it's like, man, Joe out of here, just like, you want to talk about this because it's on his mind, because he believes in it. He loves it so much. It's like, yeah, he just wants to be one with the fictional world. Star Wars and Star Trek and Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones and Walking Dead and Breaking Bad and Once Upon a Time and endless other shows and movies. Like it takes you into another world, and it's all about escapism. Escapism. How do you say that? Say that 10 times faster. Sorry, it got me perplexed when I was thinking about it. I was like thinking in my head, I want to say it, but then I'm like, whoa, I'm thinking about it, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what a unusual word. It trips me up. A lot of things trip me up sometimes, and I'm gonna stutter and mutter and say things to my mother, and that is probably not gonna work. And as a man, and as a boy, and as a girl, and as whatever you are, and as whatever I am, what you gonna do about it? You can't beat that. You can't beat that, boy. It's bad. You can't beat that. You cannot beat that. Or maybe you can. I don't know. But it's like it is what it is. And you are watching the Memes World Productions. That's right. Where you will encounter seduction. That's right. You will. And it will be like nothing else. It will blow your mind. It will be part of your world. And you are watching the Sipcast starring Chrissie, Mea and Anna, that Star Wars girl, and a bunch of other girls too. If I try to say their names, I might get it wrong, so I'm not gonna try. I already messed up Anna's name. I try to say words, I try to say names, but they don't come out because I'm a fan. Because I'm a sip. And I gotta help myself, but to be what I am, and I better watch myself and hold myself and take myself to the next level. Too often in life, you stay at the same level. And you never go on to the next level. You feel safe, and you don't want to work really hard to get to another level. And that's too bad. But it is what it is. And that's all she wrote. And then it's gone the next day. I might be part of generation, the millennials. The millennials? I don't know. Wait. And then what does that make me? If I am part of that generation, what does that make me? I don't know. But I'll tell you what. I was thinking about that because I was watching Tim Pool, and they were talking about the differences between the different generations. And I think it's kind of cool looking at that, looking at patterns. From the top of my head, I can imagine the different generations. This past century was like there was the silent generation, and then there was the boomers, and then there was Generation X, and then there was the millennials. How do I say millennials? And then there was the most recent generation would be, they call it Generation Z, Generation Y, Generation Z. And the letter Z, the last letter of the normal alphabet, the English alphabet. So it's like, how many generations is that? 4 or 5? It's like every generation is like 20 years. So I'm thinking about all this stuff, and I'm looking at the patterns because I'm really into that, because I'm a nerd. I'm not really like an entertainer, except maybe I kind of pretend to be an entertainer, and I look at the camera and I'm like, hey! And I pretend to be crazy and stuff. And I do like a lot of things. And so there's a part of me that's like really, really like fun, or at least fun in my head. You can say whatever you want, I don't care. But it's like, the other part of me is very, very scientific and boring. And that part comes out. Sometimes I just want to like stick that in a closet. So I'm coming out of the closet right now as a little nerd, scientist, weirdo, doctor, whatever. It's like, even though you want to like discredit me, Big Floppa, or anybody can discredit me or make fun of me, and it is what it is. And I could say like, stop it. I could like, seriously, I could say like, you better stop it right now. But it's like, it doesn't matter if I say that or not. It's like, you're gonna do what you do, and this part of me is like really interested in scientific stuff and looking at stuff, and even though some people are like, well, you're just a puppet, and you just like repeat whatever you hear from some people or whatever you get your information from. And I thought that was interesting that I was having these conversations. Like, I was in like in a video with Big Flopper, and I was agreeing with what he was saying. Like, he was saying, like, you got to be careful about where you get your information from. Information about the news and politics and history and health and everything. Economic news and political news and all these different things. You got to be careful, and you got to think about it and all this stuff. He said a bunch of different things, and I don't want to put words click on it. You better click on it. Welcome to the Mea Omnia Productions, right? Hello, welcome to the Mea Omnia Productions, right? The greatest place in the world. Welcome to the Mea Omnia Productions. My head is not right. You may think there's something wrong with my head. You may think that I'm dead. You may think that something's going on. You may think this may never ever work. You may think this is really cool, really cool. You better go click on the link in the description of this video on YouTube or whatever website this might be on, because this may be taken down at any time. So you may have to go to BitChute.com or Rumble.com or Odyssey.com and a bunch of different websites when I'm taken down again. Again, that's right. I've been taken down off YouTube and Facebook and Twitter many, many times, and other people have too. Yeah, other people have too, and you're probably thinking to yourself, I've never been bad. You must have been really bad. Oh, yeah, right. You can think whatever you want. So you better go click on the link, go to my Discord server, and tell me that I'm stupid, or leave a comment and tell me that I'm stupid, and never do. Don't do that. Please don't hurt my feelings. I'm not gonna like it. And Big Flopper was talking to me. He didn't know he was recorded, so you better go and strike me down like Darth Vader did to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he said I'm gonna become more powerful than you can ever imagine, so you can take down my videos and my articles and my pictures of Mango, which is what Blurt did. How dare you, Blurt? Listen to Mango, who was like a bad guy. Not here to talk about that right now. You just gotta take my word for it. There's an investigation and some articles and some videos that I'm not gonna tell you where to find right now. Mango, Hayes, and Cosmos. That's right, there's a guy, Tyler. That's right, his last name, not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it more. You got it more. 2 O's. I don't want to say it, and I didn't say it, but there was like that guy and this guy, and Cosmos, that's right, in Canada, his website, double checked, and it was pretty good, and that's okay, except for, they went after, in 2022, going after Mea Omnia Productions, and Moods, and Easy, and all these different people, and some of them be like, don't say my name in my video, your video, and I say, fuck off. Because it's important and symbolic nonetheless. I don't know what the truth is about any of it. Except for what I saw is what I saw. What I thought was what I thought. So I did what I did. Some things. And so it's like Mango Hayes of Germany threatening to take down Mea Omnia Productions. And then the founder of Stubblechat helped him. Did a couple different things. I'm not here to rehash all that. It's already written down. Maybe I'll make some official video talking about that, but this is not the time or place. But it's like, talk about this stuff, even mentioning the name of holy Mango. Oh, bow down to Mango. I love you, Mango. Just say the word could get my video reported and flagged and taken down if I say Cosmo T's name. He'll look at it and be like, you said my name. You Tim Sissy, he said my name. It's not hate speech, but you better take down that video because he's talking and freedom of speech doesn't exist anymore. Because we don't believe in absolute freedom of speech, only freedom of speech to say what we allow, which is not freedom of speech, but we're gonna trick everybody and lie to everybody and say, this is what we believe, and this is what's going on, and this is what freedom of speech is. There's limitations to the First Amendment in America, in the United States of America. There's limitations, they say. And this is what they want you to believe. So they will do that. And so it's like, me, little boy, little dude, go to sleep, little boy. I will do what I do, but I get taken down. So life's kind of hard. So what are you gonna do? So it's like Big Flopper is talking to me and saying all this stuff, and I agree with him. I actually agree with him. And that's where the irony comes in, because he will say that I don't, even though I do. And he wants people to think that I don't believe, that I don't agree with him. about the stuff that it was saying, I believe that he should take his own advice. And you got to be careful about where you get your news, your information. And he would say that back at me and say, no, you're the one that don't do that. And I say, no, you're the one that don't do that. You don't take your own advice. You don't take your own advice. And he'll look at me and say, oh, yeah, I do take my advice. Oh, yeah? You careful about where you get your information about a lot of different things, and then you stick it in your arm? The song that I wrote? You think I'm wrong about that? No, I wrote the song, sang the song, I uploaded it to YouTube back in 2019, a year before the thing that happened. I get my videos removed for talking about certain things. It's a word, and they take down the video. Just to harm is a word, and I didn't even say anything. Just say kind of, and it's like now they're taking down videos where you show clips of the little trial or even the press conference, from the trial in Connecticut about Sandy that ended last Wednesday, where the guy Alex gotta pay $1 billion. Over $1 billion is gonna be with a B, not a million, but $1 billion. Over $1 million. It's gonna be over $1 billion. It could be many billions, and then there's a third trial coming in. You showed us a clip of a public press conference. That's all these other channels on YouTube. YouTube looks at the other channels, the other videos, and they're like, it's okay. You can have it. And 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 you over there, you can have that video. The same video. That video. You can have it. Because it was on TV. But Oatmeal, you can't have it. You can have it. But you cannot have it, Oatmeal Joy Arnold. We take it down. You violated community guidelines. But if he does it, this guy is not violating community guidelines. But you are! You are the weakest link. Goodbye. I'm Susie Boyle. No, I'm Susan of Facebook. And I'm going to look at people like Oatmeal, and I'm going to say a double standard. I'm going to selectively enforce the rules and say he can't have the video. Even the video was on TV. And it was on everywhere. CNN, MSBC, PS, all the different channels. Everywhere. Because it was a public press conference. And the plaintiff lawyer was saying, don't go to Alex's store. You're not allowed. Don't do it. And he said it. And then they showed it on TV. They showed it on a bunch of different YouTube channels. So literally, they took the clip. Some of them showed it live. Some of them just clipped it out. And they put it. I had the same clip. And YouTube came to me and said, you can't have that clip. But the other people can. I gave them my appeal. I said, other people have it. And they're like, fuck you, Joey Arnold! YouTube was like, and Susie was like, fuck you, Joey! Other people can do it, but not you! Fucking Oatmeal! They can do it, but you cannot do it! And I'm like, oh man. Is that why I look like a fish? Is Big Flopper right? That I look like a fish because of that? Oh man. But it is what it is, so I upload the videos to other websites. I upload that video to BitTube, to Rumble, and Odyssey. I try to upload my videos sometimes, and I probably should do it more often. I upload that video to other websites. And then I put the link in the description of a new video. I try to upload a new video to YouTube and say to the people on YouTube, click on the link and watch the bad video. And then a lot of people on YouTube will look at it and be like, no, I'm stupid. I'm not going to watch a video. Yeah. Hong Kong. And so it's like, you might be one of them that's like totally like not watching an Oatmeal video. You would never watch an Oatmeal video. No way. No, you're not going to watch a video. Not going to click on a link to go to my Discord server. Please don't go to our Discord server and join the world. Please don't do that. Please do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I want you to do it. Don't do it. I don't want you to do it. I want you to do it. I don't want you to do it. Do not do it. Don't do it. Stop thinking about it. Think about it. Don't think about it. You stupid weirdo. I love you. I hate you. I hate you. I love you. I want more of you. Get out of my body into my belly. Yeah. Get out of my body into my belly. Rolling in the deep. Cruising on high. So I'm talking to Big Flopper. And he's telling me all this stuff. And he's like, oh, that's so. I see it. Yeah, that guy looked just like Tom Cruise. Yeah, that's so. Yeah, the thing about the brain and cutting the brain in half. What's that show called again? Interception? No, that's not it. What's that show called? I don't remember. Inception? Interception? Guy goes to work. Inference? No. Severance. That's what it's called. Severance. So it's like, if you've never seen the show, you got to go see the show. Hopefully a second season comes out. I only saw the first season because that's all they got. That's all she wrote. And so it's like, it focuses on a guy that looks like Tom Cruise. He works in an office building. When he goes home, he doesn't remember anything at work because it's like his brain turns off and then only his other part of his brain's working. And so it's like, memories of his work day is stored in one half of his brain or whatever, however it works, and then memories of his home life is stored in the other half of his brain. And it's like, once you go home, like once you go out of the building, it's like there's a computer chip, an Elon Musk, Bill Gates computer chip in your brain, not a chip on your shoulder, but a chip inside your brain, and like something goes off, and then boom, now the other part of your brain is awake, and the first half is sleeping, and then you go to work, and now that part is awake, and your other part of your brain is sleeping, and so it's like Doctor Hyde, Mr. Jekyll, and Dr. Hyde. It's like Smeagol and who's the other guy in Lord of the Rings? The green fella. So it's like they don't know their other half. They don't know what they're like at home, and so the show focuses on a lot on what they're doing at work, and they don't know, and then sometimes it goes back to what they're doing at home, and their homes. There's homes that they're like inners and outies, and so the outies at home, and the outies are like, I wonder what I do at work. I hope it's important and stuff, and so the guy that looks like Tom Cruise, I think he decided to sever his brain, to cut his brain in half, because spoiler, it's like so it's like his wife died, or he thought his wife died. Spoiler, his wife actually works there. And it's like the actress was on Joss Whedon's one of his shows, Dollhouse, I think, and she was pretty good in that. And then she was in a few episodes in The 100, which is another great show. It's like science fiction at its best. I think it's either science fiction or fantasy, or a little bit of both. I'm not totally sure. You know the difference between Star Wars and Star Trek? Would you know which one of them is fantasy, which one is science fiction? The answer: Star Trek is more science fiction because it's focused more on the science aspects of the technology. They try to get into it and talk about it a little bit more. There's more of a focus on the technology and the science of the spaceships and the beaming and the weapons. And Star Wars is more focused on the story. Let me say they're both focused on the story, but it's like Star Wars is more focused on the action. I think it's more of a fantasy thing. So with the 100, I had to say that to say like with the 100, it's a show about the future where it's like everybody on Earth had to go in a spaceship, and they're like hovering in a space station over Earth, and it's like I don't know 100 years or 500 years into the future, and people couldn't live on the Earth. They thought because of like there was like World War III, which could happen any day now because they want to trap Russia. Hope this video doesn't get banned now because like YouTube colludes with governments and stuff, and they're stupid, they're crazy, they're bad people for taking down videos, and they're told what to do, and then AI and people fact checkers. I'm sorry, I can't talk sometimes or ever, but it's like fact checkers from other countries like flagging videos and stuff. It's terrible, but it's like, anyways, it's like so in the 100 they're like in space, and it's really cool because it's like um eventually they start to go down back onto the Earth to try to repopulate the planet like a new Adam and Eve or Noah and the Ark kind of thing. And they run into some Indians. I guess not everybody died, and there were some Indians. One of the Indians is that girl that I said a second ago that was on Dollhouse, and then so she's on the 100. She's like an Indian girl, which is really cool. So I'd probably call her Pocahontas because that's where my mind goes, is to the most common denominator, the most simplest form of something that can just pop up in my head. Call me racist if you want, but it is what it is. So it's like it is what it is. So I don't know. I just know that she looks pretty hot, like Pocahontas. That girl pretty hot, like Pocahontas. Is it better if I say it like I'm screaming, or is it better if I just say it like this? Like I kind of like it when I talk like this, but then sometimes I feel like it's kind of boring and stuff. And so then I watch my videos where it's like I'm screaming and stuff, and I'm like, that's kind of interesting. Sometimes kind of funny, and if it's funny for me, that's good enough. It may not be funny for the Big Flubber from Memes World Productions on Discord. Link in the description below. But it's like there's a part of me, the severed part of me. There's a several part of me, several different parts of me. No, the severed part of me is like, I don't care what you think kind of thing. And the other part's like Winnie the Pooh and Lovey Dovey, and I do care kind of thing. But it's like, don't care if you find me funny or annoying. I think the best solution for all y'all haters out there is stop watching my video! You look at me and say I'm a big car accident! Can't look away! He's blessed! Yeah! He's like relentless, unstoppable, an unstoppable snowman! So great solution for all you haters out there. Just stop watching my videos, and then tell everybody to stop watching my videos in my Discord server of the Media Productions. So not really my Discord server, but it's their Discord server. Go click on the link in the description below in this video. Then click on the link. Yeah, go to look me up. Google me. Don't Google me. Just Google me. Don't Google me. Don't hire me. Don't sign me. Don't go on a side with me. What? All right. Okie dokie. So it's like the girl that was like, she was like in Dollhouse, and then she was like in the 100, and then she was like, she's in Severance, and it's like she's a good looking Pocahontas girl. And then there's another Pocahontas girl who's in Star Wars Ender, and I call her Pocahontas, and I think that's kind of cool too. It's too bad it's like I'm recording this on my phone, a TCL. What is that? TCL phone. Who's TCL? I don't know, but it says TCL, and it's like it's too bad that this works better than like my webcam. I think it's because my computer is messed up. I gotta go work on that, work on OBS and the computer, and maybe try to switch over to the other computer which I've been working on, but running into some problems on both sides, that computer and the other computer, and Big Flopper makes me think about going to Burger King, ordering a Big Flopper, a Big Whopper. Oh, it's called a Whopper, not a Flopper. What am I thinking? So I think it's like, I think it's really cool to be like on this side of the world, not down under. I don't want to be. I don't want to be locked up. You know, if I was like in Vietnam, I wouldn't be wearing a mask. What can I say on Vietnam? I mean, on YouTube, without getting deleted. I don't know, but it's like, so. What bothers me a little bit is like Flopper will say all this stuff that I agree with, and I will say I agree with you, and then he'll say, "You don't agree with me," and I'm like, Flopper, I agree with you. You don't agree with me, and I'm like, Flopper, but I do. No, you don't agree with me. Big Flopper of the Means World Production, hanging out with Little Sniff and the Quandale Dingle and all the other people down the hood. Dude, I do. I totally sympathize and empathize and realize I know there's something going on with you, and you still hanging out with your mother. You still hanging out with your mother? Huh? Huh? What? I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about that, but it's like, it is what it is. And it's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, mother. Never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry. But tonight, clean out my closet. I'm sorry, mother. How did that song go? Totally messed up. Totally messed up. So I've been making some videos for the Memes World Productions. I enjoy doing that. That would be the number one highlight for 2022, this current year. Memes World Productions, that's number one. I was thinking about all this today. I was making an outline of some of the highlights for my entire life, and I was like filling in the details for every year. I was having difficulties trying to remember what happened in '98. I eventually figured out that I was in AWANA's. It's a club where you learn Bible verses and you play games and sing songs. It's a Bible club. You go to a church, and I have problems saying some words if you haven't, some sounds if you haven't noticed. I could probably say it if I focus and try. Sometimes I can. I just accidentally don't say anything. I mean, I mispronunciate words all the time, but that's neither here nor there. And there could be a lot of reasons for that, but it's like I can talk, but sometimes I can't really talk. But it's like I try to remember what happens in my life. I feel like it's valuable and stuff, and I like to talk about that. I wanted to make some videos. I was thinking about this too. I was like thinking I wanted to like make some introduction videos where like if people were new to me, then they could like watch the videos or read the articles and find out the most important things before diving too deeply into the oatmeal lore or whatever this is. The difficult thing is I prefer having like 100 different channels, or at least a few different channels. Like think about the different brands I can have. Like I already made some of them. Like I made a couple different Facebook groups and pages, highlighting some of these things that I want. Like think about this. Like I could have oatmeal, oatmeal health, and then oatmeal technology, oatmeal religion, oatmeal Jesus, oatmeal Joey. I made like 10 or 20, I don't know how many, and overall I made like around 200 pages and 200 groups on Facebook, and I've lost a lot of different things and groups and pages and accounts and everything on Facebook over the years. had dozens of different accounts. Try to grow that. I have about 1,000 friend requests. My desire is to grow Facebook, my influence. I'm not gonna grow Facebook. I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's already pretty big. 2 billion, 3 billion people or accounts or whatever. Currently, it is what it is. But so it's like you go where the people are, and it's like I'm gonna try to grow what I got, whatever. It's like then I get banned and stuff, and like then what do? And you try to come back and stuff, and like maybe I'll be uploading my videos or sharing my videos there in the future. But currently, and so far, I just do stuff like I go around saying "add me," and that kind of worked. It's been working. 20,000 followers, 5,000 friends. What am I supposed to do? Do my numbers impress you? I don't care if it does or not. I still want to say them because it it has value. It is something, even if it's not a lot, and even if it's like problematic or whatever. But it is what it is. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. I just know that well, where was I going with all this? I think I totally lost my train of thought. And believe it or not, I do have a train of thought. It's getting kind of dark, so I better go. I think it was great talking to y'all. Seriously, should I go now? Should I go now? Should I go now? I really don't like the way that I look right now. I really don't like this. Like, I don't know. Does that work better? A little bit better? Does that look better? I don't know about that. I don't know, but I wanted to say, like, what I was saying a second ago was like, can't talk. I said that. I also said I really want to be able to highlight things and give people an introduction to what I have. But then again, that's kind of meaningless if I don't have anything beyond that. An introduction is kind of like an entrance into a building. For example, go with me on this illustration. Come with me. Come with me. If let's go on a magic carpet ride. So it's like right now I'm kind of like laying the grounds to the groundwork to this illustration. So it's like I want to build. I'm talking about building a doorway, an entrance, a gate towards the oatmeal world, whatever that means, whatever that is. You don't have to know or care to know, but it's like sometimes in my life I'm really, really focused on doing that. I'm focused on like trying to draw people in. I probably talked about this before, but it's like I've focused on that, but then I think to myself, okay, if I get people through the door, what are they gonna see on the other side once they get into the oatmeal house? Welcome to the oatmeal house! You come through the door, and now you come into my house. Well, what are they gonna see? And the answer might be nothing or not a lot and a bunch of chaos and stuff. So it's like you could spend a lot of time working on the door, but then it's like you have a big house that's full of crazy stuff. So then I'm like thinking to myself, I better go and organize and work on the content and organizing, structuring, and working on all this different rooms and everything inside the house, the oatmeal house and everything, and whatever that means. And symbolically speaking, because it's an illustration, so it's like, what does that mean? But it's like, so then it's like, it's almost like I'm severed. I'm like in that show, Severance, and it's like I'm Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, and it's like, yeah, Mission Impossible indeed. And it's like, I'm going back and forth between like, do I work on the house or do I work on the door? I don't know. But it's a lot of work and stuff. But then again, I kind of do know what I'm doing in the sense of like I do have a list of things that I work on that I try to do, but every once in a while I get sidetracked with doing a couple different things on the side, and then it kind of appears like I have no plan, even though I do have a plan in regards to what I do in my life and what I do on the internet. And I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I just need more time, and I and I work on my stuff, and I'm just not there yet. I feel like I'm just not there yet. But it's like I do think some things are coming along, and I'm happy for the people that interact with me. And this year has been good, and in some ways better than any other year. In a lot of ways, I mean, it's devastating in some ways, but at like in another way, like it it's better, and things are coming along, and things are improving. That's the current update, current status of where I am. I think it's kind of good. I think it's really good. In a lot of ways, I may not be able to express that fully, and I may still be in chaos mode, running around working on my projects, and they're important, and running into all kinds of problems all the time. But getting busy and stuff. But it's like I could still make little improvements on a wide variety of things, and I think it's kind of cool. And think that I'm in a place where I know where I am, I know who I am at a greater level than before. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's kind of good. I think it's kind of healthy, and and like things are coming together, and I'm working with people and working with myself, and I feel like it's good, and it's a starting point, it's a foundation, and I feel like I could really take it to the next level. I wanted to really like start making money on YouTube, and I thought maybe all you needed was like 400 watch hours, but it turns out you need like 4,000 watch hours, and then they gave me a few more strikes, so now I have two on Joey Arnold 7, and so it's like that one can go any day because they can just find a random video from like 10 years ago and strike it, and then that will make me go away off that channel, and they can do that anytime, even if it's like private. Like it's possible that they can do it because it's like sometimes it's just the AI and it's not fact checkers, and maybe some fact checkers can look at private videos, and I don't totally know how it works, but I'm gonna try not to let any of that get me down. But it's like when I was banned off YouTube the first time, I think it was in 2017 was probably the first time. I don't totally know because you have to think about like 40 plus channels I've had, and I got locked out of a lot of them, and perhaps a few things happened before that, but the major channel that got banned, the first major one to get suspended off YouTube was, I think it was OJAWALL back in 2017, and it was pretty devastating. And then I think it was like the following year they took down Joey Arnold VN, and I think at one point I lost Joey Arnold TV, so that's three I can think of from the top of my head, and I got locked out of a lot of different channels because like they say you got to have this one email to unlock it, or this phone number that you no longer have, and so it's like I can't I can't get into a lot of YouTube channels anymore because of that. And so I only have like two or three channels on YouTube right now, and one of them is almost gone with two strikes. This one more, three strikes and you're out. And the other one is getting like attacked. OJAWALL 2 is getting attacked, and they're removing all these videos, and it's devastating. So the first time it happened, the first time I got suspended off YouTube back in 2017, it was devastating, and it hurt me, and it kind of set me back in regards to like me uploading videos to the internet and especially to YouTube. I kind of went away. I was still doing it on and off at times, even as I was getting banned and even after, I would still do it, but there was a hesitation. Even though I was like prepared in a way mentally, I knew it would happen, kind of thing. But it's one thing to know it, it's another thing to live it. And it happened, and it was hard. And coming out of that, it's just hard, and it takes time to rebuild, so to speak. And it probably thickens your skin when this kind of thing happens. You have to like not worry about what people think, whether it's Flopper or your mom. It doesn't really matter. It's like you gotta be yourself. You gotta be authentic. You gotta be real, and you gotta just do what you gotta do. There's sometimes, some things that may not work, or some things that you shouldn't really do, and you gotta calculate and analyze and figure those things out. But eventually, you really gotta. And like, it doesn't really matter, like at the end of the day, you should try to find in your heart to be authentic. And whether that's funny or not, it doesn't really matter. Like for me, I like to be true to myself, and I just want to show people who I am, what I did, what I say, and everything. And I'm not necessarily trying to be funny, but sometimes people say that I'm funny, and I don't care if they mean it or not. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. But it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter, because sometimes I kind of like what I do, and sometimes it's kind of fun to watch it. Sometimes it isn't, but it is what it is, and you got what you got, and you can take care of whatever you got, and you could try to remember the good moments and the bad moments all together. You shouldn't like just delete the bad moments and pretend they don't exist, because there is value in all of it together, because the integration of it is how it was intended to play out. And it's better that way. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. As Jack Sparrow would say around the Pirates of the Caribbean, it probably wouldn't work, any other way, kind of thing. And not to put words into Jack's face, and I totally adore Jack and everything, but it's like, it is what it is, and any other way, it probably wouldn't work. And so you really got to hold tight and never let go. To quote Jack again, this time from Titanic, it is what it is, and that's all you can do. That's all you can really think about in the moment. You're going to F things up. You're going to mess things up. It's going to torment your soul until you get it right. But it's like, it is what it is. Life is a ride, and you're going to find out what works. And there are objective truth out there. Philosophy will totally transform your life if you're able to take hold of it and let it be your guide through how you live your life and how you deal with people and everything. It's important to find principles that can guide you and navigate the way you live your life. And I feel like me putting my life out there is important, because people can learn from it. Or it might be entertaining, it might be educational, it might be encouraging, it might be a warning, not to do drugs, don't do drugs, kid. And it's like, that's kind of what it is. It's like all those things I believe, and if I'm wrong, that's fine. In the sense of, like, if it's worthless content, people should ignore me, but some people won't, and I understand that. And some people might say, like Flopper might be saying stuff like, people watch you because you're so terrible. And if that's true, that's fine. What I say to him is, I don't care. I don't care. I do what I do. And if you watch me, I don't care why you do it. You do it. You do it. And you say it's worthless, but you keep on going back. So it is what it is. So I've been talking for an hour, and I'm kind of getting into a little bit of how I feel about it. And I thought it was kind of interesting how this year played out as I look back at this year, and in particular, it all started Valentine's 2022. Deadwing Dork Claw Duck made a video. He did a live stream about me on YouTube on Valentine's Day, the 15th of February 2022. It was on a Monday, and it was just a few days after my birthday on the 11th. And he talks about me in his video. That's Deadwing Dork on YouTube, and was like, the video is 3 hours long, and some people saw it. It got like 40,000 views, and then some of the people there went on to find me and follow me. I believe Ian, the Oatbox Ian, was one of them. Then there was a few other people. The Flopper might have been one of them. The Brony might have been one of them. Then there was the VSS Underground guy. He might have been one of them. Easy Blazer and the Memes World Productions. They probably found me that way. So it's like because of that video, then these people found me and they started following me. I think that's good. And you can say whatever you want, good or bad, good and bad. It is what it is. But it's like that happened, and that led to other things happening throughout the course of this year. And I think there's value in that, even if some people may hate me or whatever the case might be. There's nuance in everything, and levels and degrees and everything. And now the light's on. That means the power's on. That means I don't have to talk anymore. You're probably wondering, I don't know if I said this earlier in the video, but it's like, I don't look that good. I gotta shave my beard, otherwise I don't like the shadows coming off my beard. I gotta go do some work and do a bunch of things, and then I'll try to upload this video. Anyways, I'm back!